My 31 years of training, those lessons are directly linked to my business success. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erkka Suvando. Some of you call me EJ. I'm here in social media to build a legacy for my kids and pass on all the business and life lessons to each and every one of you. As I said in my intro, what I've learned at the gym, all of those learnings are directly applicable to my business life and vice versa. Something about my background. I've been training now at the gym, at various gyms for 31 years, give or take. Before that, I was active in all kinds of sports as a kid. I played football or soccer, as people call it in the States. I played hockey in the winter. I played volleyball. I was always active, skating and skiing and doing all kinds of activities. So it was all in my blood. But it wasn't until I was 16, 17 when I really discovered training, strength training and weightlifting. And I can't say that I fell in love right away. What I did find was my interest that later on turned into my passion. But I've been honest about this in my podcast and in other channels in the past. The reason why I started training was because of deep insecurity. I didn't like the way I looked. In my opinion, I was too skinny, I was too weak, I didn't have the muscles that I wanted to have. As I have mentioned in the past, there are two ways to get to your desired outcome: with deep insecurity and with strong confidence. And oftentimes, deep insecurity actually is a stronger motivator than strong confidence. That was my case. But if I look at my business career of roughly 15 years, I've trained double that. So 31 years versus 15. So still today, the lessons I learned at the gym are stronger than my business lessons. And believe it or not, those training lessons are the ones that carry me forward. And I oftentimes find myself reminding my business version of myself that, hey, remember how this goes at the gym. What are those learnings over there? Don't get distracted. Stick to your plan. So today I was planning on going a little deeper into a couple of lessons that I have learned at the gym and how I use those very same lessons in my business life. So let's get started. So as I mentioned, insecurity was one of my biggest fuels in the beginning. And I was in a hurry in the beginning. I was in a hurry to get going, to get stronger, to look better, whatever my objective back then was. But it hasn't been until lately when I realized that actually all I gotta do is focus on the actual process, the work, the daily grind that I have so often mentioned in other channels. And one of the biggest lessons for me was to move from objective or goal, I would say, goal orientation to work orientation. So what does that mean in practice? So instead of looking at the outcome, I look at the work itself. When I first bought my first self-improvement book, it was Brian Tracy's book, back in 1998 or 1999, a long time ago. I used to be one of those guys who always wrote down his goals for the next year, goals for this week, objectives for the next month, what is that I want to achieve the following calendar year. I was a big believer in visualizing everything that I wanted to achieve in my life. But it has helped me tremendously to be able to switch my focus from that concrete goal to understanding that true success in my life, whether I take the actions that I know I have to do on a daily basis to get better. Regardless of the outcome, whether I win or lose, if I have done the work that's required to get better, I've already succeeded. This took me roughly 25 years maybe when it comes to training life. And I would claim that now, after 30 years, I'm there. When I go to the gym, I don't look at what other people do. Out of curiosity, I might, but I don't compare myself anymore. How strong this guy is versus this guy, or what is it I can do, it's irrelevant to me. I stick to my training program and I don't mind other people's business. True honesty, real talk, business-wise, I'm not there yet. I still find myself comparing my plans and my outcomes to other people. But again, like I said in the beginning, 31 years versus 15 to 16 years. So I'm still a rookie as a businessman compared to what I have accomplished at the gym. So the question then is, okay, how do we move from outcome-driven work to the work itself, so to say, meaning getting all that gratification and that sense and that feeling of success based on what we did on a daily basis? I think we first need to understand that it's only us. It's our work. It doesn't matter what other people do because everybody is different. And my plan might differ greatly from somebody else's plan, but I can't compare. I have to stop that at the outset. And of course, life experience, humility, when you lose and you win, it brings things into perspective, in my case as well. When you bang your head against the wall for 30 plus years and you actually see very, very little progress on a daily basis, you actually start to realize that, look, this is going to be a marathon. I can't be looking at what other guys doing because then my focus is somewhere else where it's supposed to be. So, lesson number one, moving from goals to work itself. So from outcome to work-driven type of activity. And if we look at life and business and training, they're all games. Our goal is to play infinite games, games that never end. We don't need to, or we don't have to, or we're not supposed to reach that beach body by next summer, but we're supposed to stay healthy throughout life. We don't win in marriage. Our goal is to stay married. The same way in business. Our goal is to keep playing. Our goal is to stay in the game no matter what. There are plenty of ups and downs. Same thing in training. There are going to be months, maybe years, when we are not that motivated. But the ones who stay in the game, keep training, are the ones who get something done at the end of the day. So stay in the game. This is hard. Like it's supposed to be. The next one is what I call shiny object syndrome. This is probably familiar to many of you. It means that people oftentimes, we always see the opportunity on the other side of the fence being brighter, greener. And as far as training goes, I've noticed that and realized that all kinds of workout programs bring results. Everything works. The question is, when do we get the results and how fast do we get there? Same thing in business. There is no one right answer. There is no one right workout program. Whether I do a full body of 5-day split or whatever I do, one muscle at a time. It doesn't really matter that much as long as you stick to it. At school, we were taught that there's only one right answer, which is dangerous. In reality, there are several right answers, but there's only one wrong answer, and that is to do nothing. If you think about it, if we had all the info in the world, it would be too late to start a business. There are plenty of people who wait for that perfect plan, that last set of or piece of info that we need to put that business plan together. Same thing in training. Well, now my knees hurt. Well, after summer, after Christmas, there's always something else. Well, as I said, there's only one wrong answer. That is to do nothing. So taking action is everything. Why do I change my workout programs every now and then? I would say probably every 3 to 5 years, which is a very long period of time. I just do it to keep my mind fresh. I just switch from a three-way split into more or less a full body type of a workout program, which is probably the only one I haven't tried in the past. And I'm kind of excited. I've done this for almost 2 weeks now, and it's something fresh, something that keeps me extra motivated. But as I said, I'm not expecting this particular program to elevate my progress to another level. No, it's going to be gradual mini micro steps year after year. And at some point when I age more, it's just, the question is just to maintain, hold on to the gains, hold on to the strength, hold on to the muscles, whatever the objective is, as long as you can. Longevity, just to stay in the game. Number 3. In fitness, there's a saying, expression called time under the bar. In other words, it's the reps. Time under the bar typically relates to squatting. So the time under the bar is directly linked to your progress, whether it's strength, muscle gain, or whatever. In real life, when it comes to business, you got to put in the hours, you got to put in the reps and do the work. There is no shortcut. There are 2 ways to do it. You can do 10,000 different exercises once, or do one exercise 10,000 times. The point is that you got to stick to something and put in the reps. You can hop from one opportunity, one exercise, one variation to another, or stick to one that works, that's proven to work with others, and then put in the reps. Same thing if you do martial arts. You got to get the technique. You got to have proper form and technique first, and then keep banging that sandbag or whatever you're doing, hitting or kicking. Same thing at the gym. If I want to squat, if I want to learn the technique, I need to just put in the hours, put in the reps. In business, that's why I always say more, better, new. Me with these videos, providing content, my first goal is to do more so that I know what works, what is it that I'm good at, what are the areas that I suck at. There are plenty of those. So I need to increase the volume instead of hopping from one opportunity to another. So time under the bar, again, directly applicable to business. Time under the bar on the business side means pick a strategy, execute it, show up. Sometimes 80% of the end result is showing up, keeping your promise. Making good promises and keeping them all is always a very viable business plan. So, number 3, time under the bar. Time under the bar, in other words, same as the reps. Okay, 4th and the last point. This is about finding your interest. If I look back, and there's always this, I would say, global debate or discussion about how we should be only doing things that we're passionate about. But I don't think we know what we are passionate about in the beginning when we are really not that good at it. So I think it starts with interest. If I look at my training years, I wasn't passionate about training in the beginning. I had an interest in training. And that's why I found myself at a local gym. Over the years, I probably trained at 50, 60, 70, maybe 100 different gyms all over the world. I've seen them all, from tiny garage type, underground, dark dungeons to the best and the brightest. But in the beginning, all I had was interest to get better. Like I said in the beginning, I had deep insecurities about the way I looked. I wanted to get stronger, bigger, more muscular. But then over the years, I started getting better at it. I just was willing to stick to it, the plan that I had, and put in the work and put in the hours. And then, I don't know at which point, maybe it was year 5, 10, 15, I have no idea. But at some point I realized that this is something I can't live without. This is my true passion in life. I don't have too many passions. my kids, training, business, overall being able to live the kind of life that I want, own my own future. Maybe those are my passions. But in the beginning, none of them were. Interest with action becomes a passion. So I think to young people, to us adults as well, it's never too late to start with our interests and then put in the work, and then later on finding out that those very same interests became our passions. So it starts with an interest. Interest plus action equals passion. So 31 years of training lessons put into one maybe 12, 13-minute YouTube video format, and how those lessons are linked to my business life and my overall well-being, and what is that I learned on the gym floor that I can use on a daily basis. These are very universal learnings that I'm sure many of you have learned, but I felt this would be useful to many of you, especially the ones who are just starting. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please comment, share, like, subscribe to my channel. I would highly appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and until next time.